Trump is deporting nearly 200 Venezuelan migrants back to Venezuela. Check it out.
All right, there's also this. Today, the Trump administration will defend its migrant deportation flights in a federal appeals court just hours after another flight carrying migrant gang members touched down in Venezuela, which is huge news as well. Venezuela once again accepting our deportation flights.
Madeline Rivera live in Washington with the details. Hey, Maddie.
Good morning, Carly and Todd. The Trump administration maintains it's on solid legal ground as its use of the Alien Enemies Act is litigated in court. This hearing in an appeals court today comes after federal judge James Boasberg expressed skepticism on Friday of the Trump administration's invocation of the wartime statute. The president argues he can exercise the authority because Tren de Aragua is threatening an invasion. Boasberg called the policy ramifications incredibly troublesome and problematic and concerning. He's promising to investigate whether the administration defied his order to turn deportation flights to El Salvador back around. But Border czar Tom Homan says the administration never defied the court's order. Listen here.
No, I don't care what that judges think. As far as this case, we're going to continue to arrest public safety threats and national security threats. We're going to continue to deport them from the United States.
We are saying that TDA is acting as a proxy of the Maduro regime. This is how the Alien and Sedition Act applies, and we cannot have district judges interfering with the commander-in-chief's actions to take care of, in the way he deems necessary, a terrorist organization.
After a standoff, Venezuela, like you guys said, is now agreeing to accept deportation flights from the U.S. The first one landing at Venezuela Sunday with 199 illegal aliens, including gang members. And Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is planning to visit Central America this week. Her visit will be kicking off on Wednesday with a tour of El Salvador's terrorism confinement center, where hundreds of migrant criminals were deported last week.
I was listening to a woman over the weekend, and she put it perfectly in ways that I couldn't put it. She explained it perfectly, and I actually did a review video on it. And she says, imagine getting mad at the person that's actually fighting the crime instead of the people that broke the law. They took a risk, and yes, they smart. They didn't walk over here and they was like, you know what? We don't know what we doing. We just gonna come over and see what happened. Oh man, I've been paying taxes for a long time. You took a calculated risk to come over here illegally with the expectation that hopefully everything worked out for you. You got comfortable, you got settled, you decided to have kids intentionally, knowing that you could then try to leverage birthright citizenship that wasn't even supposed to be for you. It was supposed to be for people that were African descendants of slaves. And we tried to use a loophole in order to get you in, and then you was able to get a free hotel and all of this stuff. And then you came over here and they say, you know, people like Jasmine Crockett will say, well, they pay taxes too. They pay taxes too. Well, that's what you're supposed to do when you work inside of the United States of America. Did you know that drug dealers are supposed to pay taxes too? Even if it's ill-gotten gains. Did you know that ill-gotten gains is supposed to be taxed even though it was ill-gotten? That was the way that they took down a lot of different people. They couldn't get them on a crime that they was doing because they couldn't get nobody to snitch on them, and they couldn't tie them to the crime itself, and so they got them on taxes. They got them on taxes. People that have ill-gotten gains also are supposed to pay taxes. As crazy as it sounds, any gains that you get, you are supposed to pay taxes on. So miss me with the BS. Miss me with the idea that you are supposed to benefit from a system that you illegally got. Doesn't absolve you from the crime that you committed. Does not absolve you from the crime that you committed. If you go and rob a bank and then you give half of the money over into the streets or to homeless people, did you still rob a bank? Did you still rob a bank? And I'm surprised at y'all in the chat, some of y'all. Some of y'all that hate Trump, some of y'all that hate the fact that I'm conservative so much that you would go against your own neighborhood. Well, Anton, how were they going against their own neighborhood? Because you realize that resources that could have been, like I've even seen people that I disagree with about reparations, and they said, listen, at the very least, how y'all gonna give it to them, but y'all been skipping over us? Listen, even the pro-black, blackity-black, ashy-knee suckers that's in the chat right now should agree with that. They took billions and billions of monies. And even though while you and I was having a debate on whether or not reparations had happened in the first place, we was wasting our time. Well, you was wasting your time because I knew that they wasn't going to give you reparations anyway, but they took money that could have been allocated to you. Because listen, as much as I don't necessarily care about it, if they gave it to you, because I don't need it, I'm good. If they gave it to you, I would rather them give it to you, a person that is an American citizen, than give it to somebody that came over here illegally. They gave them free hotel rooms. They gave them health care services on taxpayer dime. New York spent over $7 billion in direct cash payments and resources that they've allocated to migrants. They got health care, they got schooling, they got all of this stuff, right? I would rather them give it to you than to give them to people. At least I know you. I know you. And I may not necessarily agree with you, but I ain't going to give it to them. Why would I give it to somebody that ain't from here, but not give it? We can at least agree on that. We may not agree on all of the things, but at least we should agree on that, right? Right? But you so evil and you so ugly and you so dedicated to being mad at the Trump administration, and you looking for a fight, you looking for issues, you looking for me to say anything that upsets you so you can, I'm going to type hard in the chat, that you can't even realize that while you trying to be mad at me and I'm giving over to the streets, they giving your tax dollars away to people that ain't even from here. How you going to support? Listen, you hate white people that live here that actually pay into the tax system that is supposed to help feed you and help you to be successful, and pay into the tax system that fund the schools and all of this stuff, but then you love people that ain't even from here. You so hateful. You so ugly. You a ugly YN. That's what you are. You a what? Oh man, I love migrants, but I hate white people. What? So you hate Americans, but you love people that ain't even from here. And they from a country that don't even espouse your views and values. I love Ukraine. Boy, don't you know if you was in Ukraine right now, they put you in a concentration camp. They put you at the front line to get shot first. They don't espouse your values in Ukraine, you dummy. Oh man, you know, I stand with Palestine. They don't like you over there in Palestine, dummy. Don't you know if you went over there and said some of the stuff that you say over here, boy, you'd be thrown into a concentration camp. Man, China's living in 2050. Yeah, but they also filter through your emails, and if you say something you ain't supposed to do, they're going to throw you in another concentration camp. You so hateful. You so dumb. So stupid. Always hating on somebody that you close to. You the type of dude that'll go and hang out with the ops. See your brother struggling on the street and then want to go and help somebody that you don't even know. I know the type of dudes that y'all are. You the type of dude that'll see your homie struggling and then give some money to a hoe and fly her in order to have a good weekend with her. That's the type of person. You will see your brother failing, and just because y'all had an argument when you was 5 years old and he threw a He-Man doll at you, you gonna hold it against him, but you gonna make sure that you continue to fund that girl that don't care nothing about you, that's trying to get all of the money out of you. That's the type of dude that y'all are. That's why I'm scared of y'all, bro. I'm scared of the type of people that y'all. I'm scared of Americans that's on the other side of the aisle, man, because they crazy, man. They nuts. They will burn up their own stores, fam. They'll sit here and stand on the front. They'll show up for AOC and Bernie Sanders, and it's poverty in their own neighborhoods. They won't show up to the community meeting. They don't know who their Congress member is, but these people will show up on a front lawn of they will go out of town and go to an AOC Bernie Sanders meeting that can't do nothing for them and don't know nothing about the person that's actually in their own district. Your own neighborhood. You will run out of town to go and spend some money and give it to somebody else. You the type. Oh, scared of y'all type of dudes, man. Scared of y'all. Y'all support illegal migrants. They got tattoos on their face. They wouldn't let you inside of a picnic outside in a public space, and you will hate your own neighbor as a result of it. You will go and break in your own neighbor's house and then go over there and just. But I want to make sure that y'all accept me.
A
Scared of
DHS
y'all, bro.
spokesperson, Tricia McLaughlin, telling Fox News Digital that Noam and the president are sending a clear message for criminal aliens considering entering America illegally. Don't even think about it. After Noam's prison visit, she's also planning on meeting with El Salvador's president. Carly and Todd.
Madeline Rivera, live for us in Washington. Maddie, thank you.
You got it.
Let's bring in Terrell County, Texas Sheriff and retired Border Patrol Agent Thaddeus Cleveland. Sheriff Cleveland, good morning to you. So obviously there has been a lot of back and forth regarding this migrant flight to El Salvador. And the question from people who don't think it should happen is, how does the Trump administration know that everybody on board this flight is a gang member? Well, Tom Homan provided some clarity on that yesterday. Listen to this.
Look, there's various methods. No, I've noticed in the media this week, a lot of them don't have criminal histories. Well, a lot of gang members don't have criminal histories. Just like a lot of terrorists in this world, they're not in any terrorist database, right? We only know the information what's in databases based on, for instance, most terrorists we arrest that are identified by the U.S. government are later identified through a Title III investigation or through an undercover operation. They're not in any terrorist screening database. We know that.
Homan would go on to say we have to count on sworn statements from other gang members.
I stand with Canada. You ain't never been to Canada. Closest you ever got to Canada was listening to a Tory Lanez album. I stand with Canadians. And don't get me wrong, I'm cool with my Canadian brothers and sisters. I stand with America first. America above everything, above all. The family first. The family first. We can't talk about nothing that nobody else got going on outside of here until we talk about what's best for the family first. Then we start to include everybody else. Until you fix your own home, your own hood, your own neighborhood, your own block, unless you fix all of that first, I'm not standing with nothing to nobody until I stand with my own first. I am an American first. I stand with Canada. You ain't never been there, sucker. You don't even know nothing about hockey.
Monitoring social media, anything involved in a criminal investigation comes into play. So a lot of people are focusing on the people on those flights saying we're not in a gang. But Tom Homan is saying I trust my field agents who say yes, they are.
Hey, good morning, Carly. Great to be on with you. And I have said the same thing. Look, whether it's ICE agents or Customs and Border Protection, Border Patrol agents or Office of Field Operations, when they conduct interviews, when they're doing parts of their investigation to find out who these people are, just through discussions and through interview techniques, I'm quite sure that they also have done proper justice. Look, we swear we take an oath when we put on the badge, and we're going to stand by that oath. And if we've determined someone's here illegally and is a criminal and a gang member, then those that are trying to legislate from the bench, they should accept those sworn testimonies and our duties.
All right. Well,
y'all need to get some backbone. Hey, man. Hey, bro. I get it from the women because the women do stuff that's not best for them. They crazy. They run off of emotion, but you're not supposed to do the same thing. It's okay to have emotions, but it's not okay to act out of it. It's not okay to act out of it. Put your hand down, man. Put your hand. Come on, man. Come on, man. Where you from? What you doing? What you got going on? Why you so weak with it? Why you so weak with it? I stand with these people, man. Stand your butt. You can't even stand with you don't even want to pay your grandma rent. Grandma asked me for rent again. I've been staying in her house for the last 15 years. I don't know why she want to ask me for rent. And then you would go and trick it all off on a bottle at the club down the street with some chick that don't even like you. And she was just looking to get a tip out of you. Don't want to pay your own mama no rent. Don't want to give her nothing on the gas bill, the heat bill, feeling entitled. You don't want to get y'all some backwards. Promise to God, bro. Promise to God I don't rock with these dudes, man. I don't rock with him at all. Yo, homie could be going homeless and you wouldn't give him $5 to feed himself, and then you go off and trick it off on a chick. Clown. You ain't never even been out of your city, but you stand talking about you want to get a passport to go. Man, shut up. You ain't been past 8 Mile. Shut your black mouth up. Ain't been past 8 Mile. Don't scared to go past 8 Mile because Oakland County gonna have you pent on the hood of your car and arresting you because you got warrants out. You can't even get out of the warrants out of your. You wanted for child support talking about getting a passport. Shut the hell up, bro. Man, I'm about to get my passport. First, you got to clear that warrant up, big dog. You got to clear that warrant up, big dog, before you start talking about a passport. Can't get a Spirit flight to save your name. Flag on the play. Read some of these super chats. Niggas got warrants for child support talking about I'm about to get a passport. Man, fix the relationship with your baby mama first before you start talking about coming on my platform. Man, I can't stand this. These women ain't doing this. They need to be more submissive. Dog, you need to be more submissive to that 9 to 5. Listen, you listen to me talk about women, not the other way around. I don't want to hear nothing from you. You got to make sure that you go to work and you got to get a job first, fam, before we start talking about women. What we talking about women for? And we supposed to be talking about money. They can't even get out of Wayne County, Antoine Johnson. Guess what? They don't have Klarna and Afterpay for passports, bro. I promise you, there is no Klarna, no Afterpay for passports. You can't put it on the financing. You got to pay for it outright. Never heard of TSA pre-check. Pre-check? TSA? Huh. TSA? What is that? You don't know nothing about that? That's way past you. You got to get to the basics. We got to get the basics. First, we got to get you a driver's license. License is suspended trying to get on a plane. Don't get on a plane with an invalid license, all right? You can't, you should not be booking flights with man, yeah, dog, we trying to head over to Dominican Republic. Sosua, homie, hold on. Give me a second first. Can we get your license unsuspended first? Can we clear up your warrants? Can we get caught up on child support before we start talking about trips out of town? No, you don't want to do that part? You want to skip steps? Can we get you some decent, secure housing before we go over to the club? No, you don't want to do that? You don't want to do it? You want to talk about who should be submitting to you? I got you. Some of y'all, honestly, you just need to join the military. Some of y'all honestly just need to join the military. Honest to God. Forget a passport. Join the military and fix your life, dog. Thank you for your service. Go get you some free schooling. Go get you some, you know what I'm saying? Get you some act right. Get you some discipline. Honest to God, some of y'all really need to join the military, fam.